Now on CoastTV News.
Foggy Wednesday roads with an advisory. We are tracking the driving situation this morning.
It's another morning we're tracking the potential for some fog to develop, primarily across Delaware. A lot of clouds today, but a little milder than where we were yesterday, tracking rain and a potential weekend coastal storm.
Plus, building better beginnings. Why Georgetown is a focal point in the affordable housing issue.
And ICE agreement abandoned.
But I will say that our relationship with ICE, we will still be working with them.
Despite new Maryland laws banning deals with ICE, the pushback by Wicomico County law enforcement.
This is CoastTV News Today.
It is Wednesday, February 18th, 2026. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for being up with us during our 5 o'clock hour.
Now, early this morning, NBC replays its Olympic coverage, and there was a great visual this morning, Grace, when I came in. The ski jump, they had the snow falling in Cortina.
You were really adamant about that. It sounds like a lovely winter scene.
It was a great winter scene, but we don't have snow here, Grace.
No.
Yeah, we got fog.
Which is not cool by Chris. He's not a fan of the fog.
Oh, he has issues with fog.
That's okay. You know what? We're not going to be Milan, but we can enjoy watching everyone ski. So,
there you go.
Waking up to fog this morning across the region. But Chris, you're saying that we're going to get a little bit of warmer temperatures, so I guess it all evens out.
Good morning, Grace and Matt. Yeah, we are going to see some pretty mild temperatures today despite a mostly cloudy day. Now, as we take a live look into Ocean City, we're at 35 degrees. Winds are very light out of the south at about 6 miles an hour. Now, we do have that dense fog advisory. This includes all of Delaware, Kent, Sussex, as well as Caroline, Talbot, and Queen Anne's counties along the midshore. This runs through about 10 a.m. for that threat of visibility as low as a quarter of a mile. Now, right now, we're doing pretty good visibility, 5 miles in Georgetown. Not much of an issue through Cambridge and Ocean City. You can see the visibility, more of an issue the further north you go. Temperatures are above the freezing mark. We're at 36 in Lewis, 37 in Georgetown. We're at 40 right now in Salisbury, so it's a mild start to say the least, and it's all thanks to that southwest flow of air. Now, the green you see here on radar, not reaching the surface. This is in the upper levels of the atmosphere. We do have high pressure offshore, and that's going to allow for that southwest wind flow throughout the day today. Now, we're not going to see bright blue skies, unfortunately, today. A lot of clouds in play. So we're going to be mild. Temperatures are going to be getting into the mid to upper 50s, near 60, some areas I think away from the beaches. And then we are tracking the threat of a isolated shower this evening. So we stay primarily cloudy through the day. Most of the areas are going to get in the mid to upper 50s. Some of us say Salisbury on Point South getting to near that 60-degree mark. We are tracking a few showers this evening, a better chance of rain tomorrow night into Friday, and then potentially an even bigger storm system over the weekend. I'll break that down a little further coming up in that full 7-day forecast.
All right, thank you, Chris. And let's get a better look at the fog conditions. Here's a live look at one of the inlets in Ocean City. We can see some fog building near the Isle of White Bay.
And about 28 miles north of Ocean City, here's what we're seeing. Many of us eager to see this view again in the summertime with some warmer temperatures going into Rehoboth Beach. Not too terrible. Looks like some of the fog may be clearing, but we're going to monitor the situation all morning.
Yeah, not sure about the main roads, but as Chris mentioned, we're under that dense fog advisory, so be careful on the back roads if you are driving this morning.
That's right, Matt. And CoastTV News reporter Elisa Weber is live in our First Alert Weather Jeep. Elisa, how's the visibility out there this morning?
Good morning, Matt and Grace. We actually just turned off onto a back street right off of Cave Neck Road. This morning we are hitting patches of fog on the back roads. This is something you need to keep in mind. We are going to turn on our brights for just a second so that you can see what it is looking like outside. This area is okay. It is clear right now, but as you keep driving, you might hit a street that the visibility is worse. So recommend not driving with your brights on this morning. That sometimes makes that visibility more difficult. But as Chris mentioned, this fog warning is in place throughout the entire morning. So as you drive early this morning and as the sun starts to come up, that visibility may worsen, it may get better. But right now, right off of Cave Neck Road, we're seeing visibility that's fairly decent. Again, we are just being extra cautious as you never know what it's going to be like on the next road that you turn on, but we're going to have more updates for you later on. Back to you.
Lisa Weber keeping our drivers safe. New this morning today in Georgetown, a groundbreaking will take place on the Savannah Grove Project. The residential community that's located on Savannah Road will have 108 apartments, with several being available below market rates through a $2 million loan agreement with the Delaware State Housing Authority. The agency says that the project will help expand quality, affordable housing in Sussex County.
What's kind of interesting about this housing crisis that we're in today is that it really hits families all across the income spectrum. You know, it isn't so much, we've had a housing crisis in a lot of ways for decades. And it feels like now we're starting to see people who have, really good jobs have a really hard time finding places to live.
And the groundbreaking will take place at 2 p.m. and Governor Matt Meyer will be in attendance.
The push for affordable housing and help for those facing homelessness has been ongoing in Georgetown, and the Town Supportive Housing Committee hears from multiple organizations that offer resources for those experiencing homelessness or affordability issues. And at their most recent meeting, the committee listened to presentations from groups including Springboard Delaware and Higher Ground Outreach.
It's important to note it was at a past committee meeting in January where members voted to back the idea of bringing cottage homes to Georgetown. The committee was formed to help local organizations combat homelessness, and members could give a presentation on this to the Georgetown Town Council in a future meeting.
Delaware Governor Matt Meyer's proposed budget includes $48 million for housing. The Delaware State Housing Authority says the funding will expand affordable housing, create new shelters, provide permanent supportive housing, and streamline homelessness services. The budget is under review by lawmakers, and they must approve a final budget by July 1st.
Happening today, Revelation Craft Brewery in Rehoboth Beach site is planning to get reviewed by the Sussex County Planning and Zoning Commission. Revelation wants to move from its current location to Central Avenue to a facility near the intersection of Rehoboth Avenue Extended and Church Street. Last year, it was proposed that the brewery would go into the office building in front of the Wayfront Hotel.
New overnight, dangerous fire conditions continue across Oklahoma as warm, dry, and windy weather fuels fast-moving wildfires. Flames raced across farmland with thick smoke blowing into the sky. The National Weather Service says temperatures have climbed as much as 25 degrees above normal, with wind gusts topping 60 miles per hour.
Wacomico County will have to back out of its partnership with ICE. Tuesday morning, Maryland Governor Wes Moore signed legislation that bans formal agreements with ICE. The emergency bills prohibit the state and local agencies from entering into 287G agreements and requiring any existing partnerships to be abandoned by July. County Executive Julie Giordano says that the Wacomico County will follow the law, but she says they will continue working with the feds, quote, as best they can.
We will go ahead and put our letter of withdrawal to follow the state law. But I will say that our relationship with ICE, we will still be working with them. Our law enforcement officers will still be working with them. I think sheriffs across the state have sort of declared the same thing, and we are no different here in Wacomico County.
Giordano says that the county is looking into the legality of this legislation and whether it violates the Maryland or United States Constitution.
This just in, U.S. officials say progress is being made after another round of high-stake nuclear talks with Iran.
At the same time, U.S. negotiators are across town beginning a second day of talks to bring an end to the war in Ukraine. Alice Barr shows us the latest in both situations.
Negotiators back at the table for a second day of talks between Russia and Ukraine. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff writing day one of U.S.-mediated discussions yielded meaningful progress toward a peace deal, 1 week before the 4-year mark of Russia's full-scale invasion. Ahead of the talks, President Trump urged Ukraine to compromise.
Ukraine better come to the table fast.
While a pair of Democratic senators traveled to Kyiv pressing for ironclad security guarantees against future Russian attacks.
Ukraine needs and deserves a guarantee from the United States, not just European powers.
Witkoff and the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, also joining negotiations Tuesday on a deal to curb Iran's nuclear program. The top Iranian diplomat citing good progress on the path toward an agreement, but cautioning they will not reach it quickly, while Vice President J.D. Vance pointed to roadblocks.
The president has set some red lines that the Iranians are not yet willing to actually acknowledge and work through. So we're going to keep on working it.
President Trump has signaled military action is an option if there's no deal to guarantee Iran won't get a nuclear weapon. The president ordered a second U.S. aircraft carrier to the region before the negotiations and suggested regime change might be the best thing that could happen. Iran has threatened retaliation for any attack, and the supreme leader now says any attempt to take down his government would fail. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Back here at home, businesses in Rehoboth Beach could see a price hike on their licenses. City leaders are considering raising the business license fee by 20%. They're also looking at what services come with a business license.
And right now, business owners, they get a free parking pass, which costs the same as an average business license. And some in Rehoboth Beach government, they're debating whether or not that pass should be included.
And this conversation came up as the city leaders look to the balance of the upcoming budget. But some business owners that we're talking to, they're pushing back on the idea.
Yeah, they say the city's unfairly tacking on extra cost to the places that help bring in visitors.
It's not going to kill us in any way, except for the fact that why us all the time? Why the businesses? Why do the businesses have to carry the burden of, a budget situation in town? I think it should be shared across the board with all the people in town, especially, residents.
And Rehoboth Beach commissioners will continue talks regarding the city's budget at its next meeting on Friday.
New this morning, Millsboro officials are asking for public officials. They're asking for input on its parks. A new survey is open for people to share opinions on current parks, including one that is planned for Route 24 across from Godwin School Road. According to the town, the results will be used for future improvements, amenities, and design of these outdoor spaces. People can access that survey online.
And we're just getting started here on this hour of CoastTV News today.
Coming up, sports complex funding. We have information for you that's in Ocean City surrounding the proposed project.
Also, storefront registry rejected. The next steps for leaders in Cambridge after a recent veto from a mayor.
Still ahead, eliminating food deserts. Now you can learn more about a program aiming to expand access to fresh, affordable food. And First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono is in the Weather Center, and he is updating those visibility numbers under this fog advisory. We check in with Chris next.
Hope this Wednesday morning is treating you well. Delmarva, halfway there. We're halfway to that weekend as we take a look into Salisbury. Pretty nice start to our day in Salisbury. We're dry, not dealing with any fog there. 40 degrees, in fact. And you can see fog not an issue to our south, but we are seeing some areas, especially in those back roads, those less traveled roads that are seeing some low clouds at this time. Temperatures are in the 30s and 40s, all thanks to a southwest wind flow. We are dealing with mostly cloudy skies throughout the area. We're going to be generally cloudy today. Temperatures reaching the upper 50s to right around that 60-degree mark. We're tracking a threat of some showers tonight. Better chance of rain comes Friday. I'll have more on that here in a few minutes. Matt.
Okay, Chris. Happening today, an afternoon webinar as the Delaware Grocery Initiative and First State Food System program prepares to reopen for 2026. Now, according to the state, this stems from Senate Bill 254 that aims to eliminate food deserts by helping community groups open or expand access to fresh, affordable food. Farmers, community markets, food banks, and more can begin to submit applications on February 20th, and the Division of Small Business will host that webinar at 12:30 p.m.
New this morning, the Delaware Department of Education is looking for sponsors and meal sites for the 2026 Summer Food Service Program. The program provides free meals to children in low-income areas while school's out for the summer. Meals are free for children 18 and younger, and meals and snacks are also available to people over 18 with disabilities who participate in school programs. Eligible sponsors include local governments, camps, schools, and private nonprofit organizations. And for more information on this story, you can head to the article on our website, coasttv.com.
In Virginia, the Commonwealth is set to raise its minimum wage. Governor Abigail Spanberger says she plans to sign legislation to increase minimum wage to $15 an hour by 2028. The bill narrowly passed the Senate just by one vote. It was 20-19. The measure sets a schedule to gradually increase the wage, starting at the current $12.77 an hour this year to $13.75 next year and $15 in 2028.
Well, a lot of clouds are on the menu for our Wednesday, but we are trending milder back into the 50s near that 60-degree mark. A little evening shower possible, but a better chance of rain will come by the end of the week, and a cooler, slightly cooler Thursday. Break all the temperature roller coaster down. Up that full 7-day forecast.
Time is 5:19 and you are looking live. We've got a little bit of fog there at the Isle of White Bay in Ocean City. And Chris, we are looking at milder temperatures for later today.
Yeah, not exactly, a bright blue sunny day, but unfortunately we are going to see a little bit of fog this morning. But again, the mild temperatures are going to be with us by the afternoon. As we take a live look into Salisbury, not much in the way of fog there, but 40 degrees to start. Not too bad there. Winds are pretty light out of the south, about 3 miles an hour. Most of the fog we're seeing is a northern mid-shore across Newcastle County up through the I-95 corridor. You can see some areas across Sussex County seeing some lower visibility at this hour. We do have that dense fog advisory for all of Delaware. This is through 10 a.m. this morning, and that encompasses Talbot, Queen Anne's, and Caroline counties. We also have the dense marine fog advisory. This is up until 7 o'clock this evening for that fog to persist offshore. Right now we're at 34 in Rehoboth, 35, Milton, 37 in Georgetown. Wind flow out of the southwest, and we're going to continue to see that flow throughout the day today. We have plenty of cloud cover throughout much of the mid-Atlantic, high pressure offshore, and you can see most of this rain is going to be pushing to the north and west of the peninsula, at least for the day today. Now, we stay dry through most of the afternoon. Temperatures getting up into the upper 50s to right around that 60-degree mark. 58 in Georgetown, 58 in Harrington. We'll see a high of 56 in Easton. I think if somebody touches 60, it's going to be Salisbury, Princess Anne, Snow Hill, portions of the eastern shore. Now, as we go into the evening, could see a spot shower as we go into the after about 5, 6 o'clock. Everyone's not going to see the rain, so it's just going to be more of a kind of a nuisance kind of event. Then as we go into early Thursday morning, another round of some patchy fog. We have more of an east-northeast wind. So tomorrow, remember we talked about that backdoor cold front trending a bit more on the cooler side. Now you see winds today out of the southwest gusting to near 30 miles an hour. As we go into the day tomorrow, notice the wind coming off the ocean, and that doesn't really bode well for us. We're looking at primarily raw conditions tomorrow. There's going to be a tight pressure gradient tomorrow with that backdoor cold front, 40s and 50s, northeastern portions of the peninsula, 50s and 60s to the southwest. Now we are tracking more rain Thursday night into Friday morning. Good soaking rain moves in. On and off showers can be expected at least through the morning rush through Friday, and then I think by the afternoon most of this rain will come to an end. We stay on the damp side in through the start of the weekend. So we're looking at a general half an inch to maybe we squeeze out an inch of rain there through Friday afternoon. We go into the weekend, Saturday trending mostly dry, partly sunny skies, and then watching that potential coastal low that could bring rain to snow as we go into Sunday in through Monday. Most of the models overnight keeping that system a bit more to the southeast, but we'll continue to follow that and fine-tune the forecast here over the next few days. We do, though, turn much colder into early next week behind that storm system, back into the upper 30s for highs both Monday and Tuesday.
Thank you, Chris. And a road closure in Salisbury will adjust traffic this week. Officials say that St. Peter's Street will close for construction. You can see that area on your screen now. Work is located in the area near West Main Street and West Church Street, which will both stay open. City officials say that the work is expected to finish up on Friday.
A Cambridge ordinance that would require owners to register vacant commercial storefronts has been vetoed by Mayor LaJan Cephas Bay just days after it won approval from commissioners. Owners could have faced fines, or I should say could have faced fees, inspections, and possible fines if they failed to comply. City officials say the goal was to track vacant properties and help move revitalization efforts forward, but some property owners we're hearing from say the rollout left them wanting more information.
I feel like not enough time was, or maybe resources were put into getting the message out to people.
Diamano says better outreach could have given owners more time to review the proposal and share feedback, and now commissioners must decide whether to revise the ordinance or attempt to override the mayor's veto. Commissioners are expected to hold another hearing before making a final decision.
Up next on CoastTV News today, sports complex funding. The outcome of discussion on the proposed project after a council meeting in Ocean City Tuesday night. CoastTV News will be right back. Ocean City leaders are weighing a key funding step for the proposed sports complex. The ordinance would allow some hotel and tourism money to go towards this project, which advocates say will only benefit the area.
You see lots of volleyball groups and soccer groups and lacrosse tournaments. That's all sports tourism. So we have to do everything we can to make sure that we keep that business coming here.
And the ordinance passed its first reading at Tuesday night's council meeting. It will still need a second and final reading before it can be accepted.
Good Wednesday morning. Delmarva taking a look into Ocean City. We're tracking that fog this morning across primarily across Delaware and points north. We're at 35 in Ocean City right now. A lot of clouds throughout the day today, getting up into the lower 50s through this afternoon through Fenwick Island and Ocean City. We will see a slight shower chance after about 6 o'clock tonight. Lewis, mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures getting into the lower 50s through the afternoon through Rehoboth as well. Cambridge, a cloudy day along the mid and eastern shores. Temperatures sneaking into the mid to upper 50s the further inland you go. Congratulations to Grace Schroeder of Ocean View, Delaware, on winning an umbrella from CoastTV. We will talk about some unsettled weather to round out the week and potentially even into the weekend coming up in the next half hour.
Thank you, Chris. After the break on CoastTV News today, community support for search. An update in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
Also, Rehoboth Business Review, what city leaders are considering amid budget discussions.
Plus, affordable housing focus. The move taking place in today's Georgetown meeting to CoastTV News today continues after the break.
Now on CoastTV News.
It's another morning we're tracking the potential for some fog to develop primarily across Delaware. A lot of clouds today, but a little milder than where we were yesterday, tracking rain and a potential weekend coastal storm.
Fog road worries, what drivers are experiencing in the morning hours under this day-long advisory.
Plus, Delaware dollars for housing. How much in taxpayer money could get funneled for housing and homeless services under the new proposed budget.
And business burden bump.
Why us all the time? Why the businesses?
Why Rehoboth Beach is looking at raising fees for business licenses.
This is CoastTV News Today.
February 18th, 2026. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Grace.
Good morning, Matt. I'm Grace Eckerly. Thank you for joining us today.
Time is 5:31 a.m. And yesterday we were talking about the revelry of Fat Tuesday. Today it's the start of Lent and Ash Wednesday.
And Matt, you're doing something that's very admirable, and you're giving up something that's very near and dear to your heart, right?
All right, just to be clear, what I'm about to say, I'm joking, but I did say I would give up vegetables, eating vegetables for Lent. But I don't think that's the way it's supposed to go. I don't think that is the true meaning. You're supposed to give up a sacrifice, not something that I
once went out to lunch with Matt Pensick, and the wait staff was appalled by your order: meat, cheese, bun. That was it. But you know what?
No vegetables on the hamburger other than lettuce.
Elisa and I actually decided, we had a conversation that we're going to give up something that we love very, very much, and that's poking fun at you. So for the next 40 days, get ready.
That will be a
We're
sacrifice.
We're going to be so nice to
That
you.
is fantastic news. Chris, did you hear that? This is going to be a delightful Lent period in the newsroom over the next couple of weeks.
It's going to be a nice start to spring for Matt, as hopefully we get some warmer weather too down the road. Temperatures right now in Ocean City, we're at 35 degrees. We see the wind out of the south at about 6 miles an hour. Now we're tracking that threat of fog this morning. We have dense fog advisory for all of Delaware, portions of the northern mid-shore. This runs through about 10 a.m. Not seeing a whole lot of widespread fog this morning. We're seeing some patchy fog in and across Sussex County. The main area of fog is across portions of Newcastle County and along the I-95 corridor. We're at 34 in Rehoboth, 37 in Georgetown, and you can see the wind flow out of the south-southwest anywhere between about 5 to 10 miles an hour. We do have mostly cloudy skies, and we're going to be socked in the cloud cover for most of the day today. We have high pressure just off to our south. Temperatures getting into the mid to upper 50s to near 60 in some locations across the eastern shore this afternoon. We are tracking a threat of showers, though, by the evening. A better chance of rain comes tomorrow night into Friday. I'll have more on that, plus that the rumblings of a potential coastal storm over the weekend. I'll have a little more on that coming up in the 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Chris. And we've got our eyes on a number of cameras all across the peninsula this morning to track that fog situation as people are heading out for their morning commutes. Here's a live look in the southern Milford area. This is just off of Route 1. Not many cars out there today, Matt.
Yeah, not a lot. You know, that is 2 hours ago. That was a lot foggier than what we're seeing now. I was tracking that one this morning. So let's go south of Milford. Here we are, high above Ocean City. This is in the 94th Street area of Coastal Highway. You can see a little bit of fog overhead there. As we continue, we do have this fog advisory that we have been tracking all morning.
And the back roads are normally those trouble spots with these fog advisories.
And that is where we have our Lisa Weber. She is in the First Alert Weather Jeep, getting a first-hand look at the driving conditions. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt and Grace. We are driving outside. There is definitely patchy fog, as Chris mentioned. It's not widespread fog where every single spot that you're driving in you have trouble with visibility, but we are hitting different roads with different conditions. So as you're driving, go slowly, go carefully. We are going to turn on our brights right now and show you what it's looking like with the brights on. We are driving without our brights on. That just makes visibility easier with the fog. We will say the most difficult part is when another car is passing you. Those lights really can just mess with your visibility with the fog. But again, these roads are all different. One is fine. The next one can have visibility issues. But again, here's one more look outside right now. Cool Spring Road. It's decent where we are right now, but in a different spot. It could be a different story. We'll have more updates for you later on. Back to you.
Lisa, this morning in Georgetown, a groundbreaking will take place. It's later today on the Savannah Grove Project. The residential community will have 108 apartments, with several becoming available below market rates. This is through a $2 million loan agreement with the Delaware State Housing Authority. The authority says the project will help expand quality, affordable housing in Sussex County, and that groundbreaking will take place at 2 p.m. Governor Matt Meyer is scheduled to attend.
And the push for affordable housing and help for those facing homelessness has been ongoing in Georgetown. Its Supportive Housing Committee hears from multiple organizations that offer resources for those experiencing homelessness or affordability issues. And at their most recent gathering, the committee listened to presentations from groups including Springboard Delaware and Higher Ground Outreach.
Governor Meyer's proposed budget, it includes $48 million for housing. The Delaware State Housing Authority says this money will expand affordable housing, create new shelters, provide permanent supportive housing, and streamline homelessness services. Budget is under review by lawmakers in the General Assembly, and they must approve a final budget by July 1st.
Happening today, discussion and possible action at Lewis's Ordinance Review Ad Hoc Committee. According to the agenda, officials will continue discussion and feedback from Parks and Recreation regarding city beaches. Officials say they could take on action on proposed changes to rules for certain manufactured home committees. That committee gathering today at 11 a.m.
Businesses in Rehoboth Beach, they could see a price hike on their licenses. The city is considering raising the business license fee by 20%. They're also looking at what services come with a business license.
And right now, business owners get a free parking pass, which costs the same as an average business license, leaving officials to weigh whether or not that should be included to make things more even.
This conversation came up as city commissioners are looking to balance the upcoming budget.
And Rehoboth Beach commissioners will continue talks regarding the city's budget at its next meeting on Friday. And happening today, Revelation Craft Brewing's Rehoboth Beach site plan is getting reviewed by Sussex County's Planning and Zoning Commission. Revelation wants to move from its current location on Central Avenue to a facility near the intersection of Rehoboth Avenue Extended and Church Street. It was last year when it was proposed that the brewery would go into the office building of the Wayfront Hotel.
New overnight support continues to grow in Tucson for Nancy Guthrie as her family continues the search for Nancy Guthrie. A Bring Her Home banner has become a powerful symbol of the community solidarity. In just about a week, the banner has filled up with more than 100 handwritten messages offering prayers, encouragement, and heartfelt support for Nancy Guthrie and their loved ones. People across Tucson have stopped by to add their own notes, sharing hope and strength.
And this just in, U.S. officials say progress is being made after another round of high-stakes nuclear talks with Iran. This as negotiators are back at the table for a second day of talks between Russia and Ukraine. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff writing that day one of U.S.-mediated discussions yielded, quote, meaningful progress toward a peace deal. And the top Iranian diplomat citing good progress on the path toward an agreement. President Trump has signaled that military actions are an option if there is no deal to guarantee Iran won't get a nuclear weapon.
New overnight, heavy snow falling across the Sierras. It's creating whiteout conditions and forcing road closures. You see this right here on your screen. Snow piling up, making it almost impossible for crews to keep the interstate plowed. Travelers saying it's simply too dangerous to drive in those conditions. And we have a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Del Dot contest winners, the creative names students submitted for snow plows.
Also, Cape Henlopen's latest test. It was a tight game throughout last night as the Vikings girls basketball team battled Polytech. Stay with us on Coast TV News today.
We salute Sergeant First Class James Guston, who served our nation with quiet strength and steadfast devotion across 27 years of distinguished service. A man of deep Roman Catholic faith, Guston embodied the same standard of excellence carried by the Guston family name. Known for crafting elite firearms entrusted to America's Special Operations Forces through Springfield Armory. We honor Sergeant First Class James Guston, soldier, father, and man of conviction, whose character continues to shape generations.
Spicer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
Good Wednesday morning, Delmarva. Doing pretty well out there, especially in Salisbury this morning. Not much in the way of fog there, 40 degrees in fact. So nice mild temperatures across those areas. Most of the dense fog we're seeing is points north of Dover, and we are seeing some isolated patchy fog across Sussex County at this hour, but we're quite mild, all above the freezing mark. We're at 36 in Lewis, 41 in Princess Anne. We are in for a mostly cloudy but mild day. Here's good news. If you want more sunlight, we're going to get it in 2 weeks. Look at this. Sun sets after 6 o'clock on March 7th. We set the clocks back that weekend, and look at that. By March 8th, sun setting at 7:01. Something to look forward to here over the next few weeks. You can get Larry's forecast by calling the First Alert Weather phone. We're tracking rain to end the week. I'll have more on that here in a few minutes.
Got another road closure to tell you about. This one's in Salisbury. It starts at 7 this morning. Mill Street will close between Route 50 and Lemon Hill Lane. You can see the area that we're talking about. We're showing it to you on your screen. And city officials say this is for ongoing bridge repair work. Closure, that's set to end at 3 this afternoon.
Exciting news here. The results are in for Del Dot's Name That Plow contest. The agency invited elementary schoolers across the state to submit fun and creative names for snow plows to celebrate plow operators and technicians. On your screen right now are the students at Phyllis Wheatley Elementary School who came up with the Han Snowlow.
Love it.
Star Hill Elementary in Dover is behind the name No Mo Snow.
That's a good one.
And Cedar Lane Early Childhood.
All right, this one, the Newcastle County School Scoop. There it is.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good morning, Delmarva. The best girls basketball player in the state of Delaware continued her reign on Tuesday. Let's go to Polytech High to check in on Cape Henlopen against the Panthers. Starting off here in the first quarter, Allie Deal gets it right inside to Amalia Fruckman, who opens up the scoring with a 2-point bucket. But then on the other end, Natalia Lawson for Polytech, give her all 3 of those. And we're going back and forth here early in the first, but then Amalia's sister Amara finds her sister in the lane, and Fruckman finishes off the 2-pointer. And we're going back and forth. Sierra Henry now for Polytech to Breachley Cherry, who puts it in for 2. And the Panthers are back in the lead. But Fruckman, she can do it inside, she can do it outside. That's why she's the best player in the state. It's 7-5 early on. Then in the second quarter, Fruckman from way downtown, another three to put the Vikings up by 9. It's 20-11. For the Panthers, Faith Elliott all alone in the corner knocks down the three to make it a 6-point game. Later in the quarter, Michaela Gordon for the Vikings on the break puts in the lay to make it a 10-point lead for Cape Henlopen. But then Rich Cherry from the top of the key, that's an answer. It's 24-17 in the first half. Now we go to the second half. Rich Cherry to Sierra Henry, and she's going to get the fast break bucket to go. It's 33-26. We go to the fourth quarter. Elliott gets in the lane, tough floater. That makes it a 4-point game, but that's as close as it would get. Cape Henlopen would win 37-34. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day, everyone.
Coming up on DSN, we have the anticipated Blue Gold Selection Show. That's at 2:30 this afternoon. Then at 6, we have live men's college volleyball when Maryland Eastern Shore takes on Roberts Wesleyan, and you can catch the final score at 10:30. You can also watch that UMES men's volleyball game on DSN Plus, along with these girls' basketball exclusives. 4:30, Delmarva Christian faces St. Peter and Paul. 5:15, Caravel visits Sanford. 5:30, Parkside is home with White High. Also have some boys basketball for you at 6 p.m. when Wilmington Christian takes on Lake Forest.
Entertainment news now, from Star Wars to Scooby-Doo and more. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
I can use some information.
Whoa, for this price, I'll tell you whatever you want.
I'm looking for a hut.
Close for the night. Thank you.
Yes, that's Martin Scorsese as a voice actor in The Mandalorian and Grogu. Pedro Pascal and Sigourney Weaver lead the cast of the first big-screen Star Wars installment in 7 years. The official trailer just dropped. The film opens in theaters May 22nd.
I think I try to keep a positive attitude wherever I go.
McKenna Grace reportedly is getting her Scooby on. Variety and Deadline report the actress has been cast as the young Daphne Blake in Netflix's live-action Scooby-Doo series. The show will explore how the Mystery Incorporated gang got together.
It's easy to say it's the drugs. But what about if it's me? What about if it's really Billy who's doing this?
Billy Idol Should Be Dead looks at how the punk pioneer survived to become a music and cultural icon. This is a first-look clip from the feature-length documentary, which opens in L.A. February 23rd, New York February 25th, and wider on the 26th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up now for free at coasttv.com/sign-up to get weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
We're tracking some patchy fog this morning, primarily across Sussex County and portions of the midshore, so use some caution out there this morning. We do rebound pretty nicely despite a mostly cloudy day. We get in the mid to upper 50s. We are tracking a threat of showers tonight. Better chance of rain on Friday, and then maybe even a coastal storm over the weekend. I'll have the latest coming up.
And the time is now 5:50 a.m. as we're taking a live look out into Salisbury. And Chris, we're looking to a warmer afternoon that we're going to enjoy.
Oh yes, despite the mostly cloudy skies we expect today, we are going to get those temperatures into the 50s, so we'll feel pretty nice with the milder temperatures on the peninsula. Taking a look into Ocean City, pretty quiet there, not much in the way of fog, 35 degrees. And you can see most of the dense fog is across the I-95 corridor. We are seeing some isolated patches of some fog, especially on those lesser traveled roads across Sussex County. Now we do have that dense fog advisory, Sussex, Kent, Newcastle. This goes up to 10 a.m. this morning, as well as portions of Talbot, Caroline, and Queen Anne's counties. Now we do have a dense marine fog advisory. This goes up until 7 o'clock this evening, so a lot of that fog will be offshore through the day today. We're at 37, Long Neck 41 now in Seaford, 40 in Laurel. So some mild temperatures greeting us out the door this morning, and that's all thanks to that warm advection of air as that area of high pressure now is offshore. We're seeing southwest wind flow, and there is plenty of mild air back to our southwest. You can see temperatures are well in the 50s and 60s across much of the Midwest and the Southeast, and we're going to tap into some of that to air today. Now, temperatures are going to be getting into those upper 50s to lower around 60 degrees under the mostly cloudy skies. I think if somebody touches 60, it's Vienna, Salisbury, Princess Anne, Snow Hill, those portions of the peninsula, southwest portions of Sussex County. So we're mostly cloudy throughout the day. As we go into the evening, around 6, 7 o'clock, could see a brief sprinkle or shower as we go into the evening. Tomorrow morning, it's another round of patchy fog. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s to lower 40s. But then tomorrow, we're going to have more of a northeast wind. We talked about this backdoor cold front that's going to be affecting the area tomorrow. Now, winds are out of the southwest today, gusting to near 30. By tomorrow, you can see the winds are out of the east-northeast, so an onshore wind. So there's going to be quite a temperature gradient from north to south as far as the temperatures go tomorrow. We're looking at another round of rain rolling in Thursday night, on and off showers, so expect a wet morning commute Friday with some periods of rain that could be heavy at times, and then the rain will come to an end by the afternoon, but we do stay on the damp side for most of Friday. We're looking at upwards of a half an inch to near an inch of rain as we go into Friday afternoon. Then all eyes on the weekend. Saturday, looking dry at the moment, partly sunny skies, and then watching that potential coastal storm threat as we go into Sunday night into Monday. Could see a scenario where we have rain potentially going over some wet, heavy snow. Most of the overnight runs have suppressed that system to the southeast, but we are still 5 days out. We are looking much colder to start next week with temperatures back in the upper 30s. Matt.
All right, thank you, Chris. And you are now looking live at downtown Milan, Italy. It's about 48 degrees right now as they're approaching the noon hour there. And we only have a couple days remaining of the 25th Olympic Winter Games. So let's take a look at the medal count of these games. U.S. has 6 gold medals, 10 silver, 5 bronze. That brings their total to 21. Norway still in the lead overall. They have 14 gold, 8 silver, 9 bronze. That is 30. Let's see. We got that. Do I have the math correct? 28 medals. Yeah, got that a little bit wrong in the prompter there. So 28 medals overall for Norway, and then we have 23 overall for Italy.
This brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, which winter sport should Delmarva try more? Let's take a look at those updated results that we have now. Looks like about 60% of us voting curling. Matt,
yeah,
you think you'd be pretty good at that?
I think of all those, that would probably be the one I'd have the best success at.
Really?
I'm not saying it would be great success, but I have difficulty skating, so that takes out ice skating and hockey. Skiing, got bad knees, so that leaves curling.
All right. Well, I know Chris would probably vote for hockey. We do have a comment coming in from Carol in Lewis. Carol says that downhill looks very difficult, but all the winter sports look like a whole lot of fun. And if you haven't voted yet, you can still do so at coasttvnews.com, or you can also vote on our mobile app. And today's day 15 of the competition of the Olympic Winter Games. Our coverage will continue all the way to the closing ceremonies on February 22nd, right here on Coast TV.
Yeah, I got a programming note for you. Due to the Winter Olympics through the 20th, you can catch Jeopardy on our sister station, Fox 21, at its regular time. That's 7:30 p.m. It's the same show. It's the same time. It's just on a different channel while the games are on.
And the time is now 5:55 a.m. Matt Pensick, it's time to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
Yeah, today's coastal pet of the day is a pup who is missing the beach. On your screen, we have Charlie. You can see from his frown, Charlie can't wait for warmer days so he can get back to some fun in the sun. And Charlie was submitted to us by Conrad in Lewis.
I think we're all feeling a little bit like Charlie, and we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. You can send us photos. Tell us what makes them so special if you take a look at your screen now.
Scan that QR code at the top center. That way you can get your friends to Coast TV News, and then you can watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
Watch out for some patchy fog, primarily across Delaware and the midshore this morning. A mostly cloudy day. We get up into the mid to upper 50s to right around near 60 in some areas along the eastern shore. Evening shower as we push through the overnight. Another round of some patchy fog tomorrow. And then we're looking at a better round of rain Thursday night into Friday. And then still keeping a close eye on that coastal storm threat Sunday night into Monday.
All right, thank you, Chris. And coming up in our next hour, shelter spending, the amount proposed in Delaware's new budget for housing, and also a big project addressing that need. It's set to start construction later today in Georgetown.